Hey y'all, welcome to the first HBCU Innovation Video Newsletter. My name is Mirtha Donastorg and I am the HBCU Innovation Reporter here at The Plug. So every week I'm going to be breaking down the innovations, the investments, and breaking news happening with HBCUs and how these initiatives are shaping the future of work. So this week, let's talk about what people typically get wrong about HBCUs and what executives need to know. So typically a lot of the mainstream coverage of HBCUs is focused on just a few things, right? Marching bands, Greek life, graduation rates, and occasionally financial or administrative mismanagement. And don't get me wrong, those are important things to cover. But look beyond them and you'll see HBCUs are an engine of upward economic mobility. Research by the American Council on Education found that HBCUs move twice as many low-income students to the top income brackets than predominantly white institutions. And in a New York Times economic mobility ranking, almost half of the top 20 public colleges are HBCUs. So schools like Grambling State University, Southern University and A&M College, and Elizabeth City State University are all doing really well at helping their students move up the economic ladder. And there's a few reasons for this, right? First, HBCUs provide more support than just telling students to attend class, which leads to better retention. And maybe you've seen it. A video went viral recently of a Lincoln University professor holding his student's baby during class when she couldn't find childcare. And Dillard University's president, Walter Kimbrough, he told me about how people at his HBCU will help buy students a meal here or there, or even help fly them to a grad school interview, all of which he says leads to them being able to stay in school. And another reason these upward mobility rates are higher for HBCUs is because they typically enroll a larger amount of low-income students. So at Dillard, right, the median parent income is a little over $30,000. So that means a larger share of the student body has the possibility of moving up the economic ladder after they graduate. Compare that to a school like LSU, where the median parent income is over $108,000. But accepting more low-income students is also a double-edged sword because it can negatively impact overall graduation rates, which gets to one of the things people get wrong about HBCUs, that their graduation rates are a reflection of the quality of their instruction. Research shows low-income students are a lot less likely to get their bachelor's degree in 6 years. One unexpected financial emergency can be make or break for whether they can stay in school. But graduation rates are a traditional way of measuring a school's success, as used as a key metric in rankings by U.S. News and World Report, and in some cases, the amount of state funding a school actually receives. By only comparing schools based on graduation rates, people miss that HBCU students often have more challenges to overcome to even graduate. Look a little further, and you'll see HBCUs often do a better job at graduating poor and Black students than the national average. So Dillard's 6-year graduation rate is about 50%, while the national average is around 61%. But for Black students, that national average falls to 40%. But look even deeper at specific disciplines like engineering, and you'll see that select HBCUs graduate engineering students at a higher rate than flagship universities in their state, which are typically larger and more well-funded than HBCUs. Let's take Alabama, for example. For the 2019-2020 school year, a quarter of Tuskegee University's graduating class left with an engineering degree. And that's much higher than the University of Alabama, which saw 13% of its class that year graduate with an engineering degree. And Tuskegee's rate was even higher than one of the main engineering universities in the state, and also a Tuskegee neighbor, Auburn University, which gave 20% of its class that year engineering degrees. So there's so much information that swirls around HBCUs, but they are an important source of diverse talent in STEM and across disciplines. Look deeper than some of the top line flashy numbers and you will see a much more nuanced picture. For the executives, recruiters, and companies looking to partner with HBCUs and understand the tremendous value they can provide, make sure you subscribe to the weekly HBCU newsletter at tpinsights.com/HBCU-newsletter and keep up to date through our reporting and insights.